Hi you creative bunch, this is just a quick tutorial video of how I make my texture brushes in Photoshop and how I share them in Procreate as well. Check it out. So here I've just used some heavy cartridge or card and just some normal ink, water-based ink, and using a small brush just splat the ink onto the card. Dead simple. And I've also got a small bottle of water that I've used quite a bit already, that's why it's blue, but it is just water, it's just had the brush in it. And splat bits of water onto that ink on the card as well. So you just do this over and over again and build up some interesting texture. So I am exercising some control when I'm doing this, keeping it quite tight, not going too mad, because obviously these are going to become brushes. So I'm keeping that idea in mind as I make this texture. And then here, I'm just going to use a hairdryer just to dry it off a little bit. Now this isn't going to dry it fully, but what it does do is it dries the very edges of the pooled water. And because of that, it makes that line stronger at the edge of where the splat mark is. And then just dab off with some tissue paper. You can see actually what I mean. So the edges of the pools, because I've had that little bit of hot air on it, they've dried like a dark line. Just something I've discovered over the time I've been making these textures. So dab it all off, dry it some more with a hairdryer, and that's pretty much it. And then I scan these and take them into Photoshop. If you go to Image Adjustments, Channel Mixer, and open up the Channel Mixer, and at the bottom check the monochrome little box. Then you take the constant bar backwards, so to the left, and make it dark. And the RGB channels you move up. And what you're looking for is a brilliant white. You need the white area to be absolutely white for this to work. After that, I go to Channels, and whilst pressing Command, I click on the RGB channel. That selects all the white perfectly, but I want it to snap to the black. So just go to Select Inverse, and that snaps it to the black. There I create a new layer, and then make sure that black is on top of my palette. You can go to Edit, Fill, and I can either fill with foreground because I know I've got black on the top of my palette, or you can choose black as well and hit OK. That'll fill that layer with black. Now I want to go back to the background layer, select all, so do a select all from the top, select all, and then just fill that with white. So similar process, so edit, fill it with white. And now I have separated the texture from the background, so I've got the texture on a transparency. Next thing to do is double click on the texture layer, which opens up the layer styles dialog box. I want to hit stroke, change the color to red, and have it on the outside, and do it rather small in terms of pixels, so it just marks where all the image is, like so. And then I can see where it is, so now I can erase areas that I don't want. Get an eraser, take a few of the edges off already, just center up the canvas a little bit. Toggle the layer effect on and off, and you can see where all the image is, and I just want to sort of remove a bit of that. You don't need it all, you just need the main image really. Okay, toggling rulers, and just using some guides, I'm just framing the texture so I know where it is, and then I make a crop of that. When I've got a crop of that, I go to Image, Image Size, and change the longest edge to 5000 pixels. The reason I do this is because you can't make brushes any bigger than 5000 pixels in Photoshop. When I've got this canvas, I've just deleted the background. Next thing I want to do is select all, So select the canvas and then go to Edit, Define Brush Preset, which pops up this little dialog box. Call it something and hit OK. And that is your brush made. Dead simple, really. And now you can do anything with that brush. You can create different colours from it. It's clean, tidy, and you can also erase from it as well. So you can paint with it and erase with it, which is brilliant because you can create textures within textures by using that process. All good fun. Okay, that's the brush made. I use these brushes all the time for all sorts of different imagery that I create, such as these. But you can do it with anything. You can do it with any kind of splash. You can do it with coffee rings. I've done it with bubble wrap. So I've printed with bubble wrap and taken it through the same process and made brushes from that. Characters, random character design, or even your tag or logo, you can make brushes out of. Quickly fill canvases and backgrounds and do all sorts of creative stuff with these brushes. Save the preset. You can select the brushes from the brush dialog box. If you go to the top, where the little cog is at the top of the brushes palette, you can actually export these brushes out as a .abr file. So if they are quite big, you don't always have to have them in Photoshop. You can sort of import them, export them when you want, which isn't taking up your resources. And also, once you have that .abr file, if you take it into iCloud, you can also import it into Procreate by basically making a new canvas, go into brushes, hitting the plus on the brushes and go to import, find the file, double click it, it'll open up then, it'll import into your brushes palette and you can find it, and there they all are, and you can use them in Procreate as well. All good fun. I hope you found that useful, and I hope you have great fun creating your own textures and creating your own artwork from those textures. It's relatively simple to do, but you can use these things over and over again, and they're dead useful. Really, really useful. If you've liked this video, give us a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please do so. That'd be superb. And I will catch you next time. Take care. Happy creating. Bye for now.